Hello everybody. It's me, James. So, all over the world right now, people are trying to come to terms with the pandemic. And what comes next? Like everybody else, we're in lockdown, in our support bubbles. Trying to look ahead to a time when we might get back to normal. The question is, what kind of normal do we really want to go back to? Is it the one we left behind us? I, for one, hope not. There are all sorts of reasons for saying this, but I'd like to talk a little bit about the way that we raise our children. You probably won't agree with everything that I'm saying. Well, that's fine. You can't please everyone all of the time. Warning: this following sequence may contain foul language. An ode to children in the city. If children are the future, then we might be in trouble. We're keeping them sheltered, they're living in bubbles. They've been living in lockdown for too many years, in bedrooms and classrooms, away from our fears. Long gone are the 70s when children roamed free, out first thing at morning, then back for their tea. Now it's staring at screens for 8 hours a day, glassy-eyed zombies with nowhere to play. Fear of abduction and fear of the streets, fear of unforeseen accidents that aren't guaranteed. All of these things blown way out of proportion by a media industry obsessed with distortion. Spinning the truth, in every which way, for the wealthiest people who are willing to pay, to protect their own interests, no cares for the rest, no matter what cost, blind to the mess. What we really should fear is political agendas, lack of freedom, over-surveillance, the knowledge we teach them. Our education system is well out of date. It needs a big shake-up. It's already too late. Based on industrialization and ideals of the past, never-ending growth, how long can this last? Strict rules, conformity, standardized testing, no time to experiment, and no time for resting. The answer seems simple with the problems laid bare. We need to wise up, we need to play fair, if we want to prepare for this turbulent future. Let's start with our children and the way that we nurture. Let's give them more freedom and space on the streets. It's time they got back in the driving seat.
So you see, we've got these side pieces.
I'm the boss.
You are the boss.
Less learning from textbooks and hermetically sealed spaces, detached from the world and the problems it faces. Hoping's not cheating, it's just knowledge exchange. What we need right now are agents of change. Look deep into nature to understand everything better. Let's start with that sentence slap bang at the center. We live in a city, cut off from our roots, disconnected from nature on frantic commutes, but the elements are here. It's just we don't feel them. Designing against them, rather than freeing them. Our parks are fenced off and planned to perfection. It's nothing like nature, it's man-made intervention. Nothing moves in the wind, nothing plays with the rain. This development industry has got all the wrong aims. Every inch of this city is fixed rigid in place. It's no place for a child, it's a fucking disgrace.
So it's that literally basically foundation.
Invisible networks of power and money. It's time to fight back and stop being so phony. Now adults are in lockdown. Children are free. Reclaiming the pavements. Reclaiming the streets. Can we learn from this lesson? Can we turn things around? Start bottom up instead of top down. Education of substance, nature and play. Otherwise we're fucked.
The
The revolution wasn't televised in the 60s. Is it going to be televised in the 90s?
Well, you know, the catchphrase, what that was all about, the revolution will not be televised, that was about the fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move. So when we said that the revolution will not be televised, we were saying that, like, that the thing that's going to change people is something that no one will ever be able to capture on film. It'll just be something that you see and all of a sudden you realize, I'm on the wrong page. Or I'm on the right page, but I'm on the wrong note. And I've got to get in sync with everyone else to understand what's happening in this country.